Okay, let's get right into it because a massive shift is happening in how we find, well, anything online. For years, it was all about search engine optimization, SEO. But now we're moving into a totally new world, generative engine optimization. And trust me, the rules of the game have completely changed.
And no, this is not science fiction. This is a real story, and it perfectly captures how AI is already changing our lives. Think about it. The user didn't search for 24-hour pharmacies near me. They just stated a problem. I need kids' Tylenol right now. And an AI agent solved the entire thing. This is the new paradigm in a nutshell. We are moving from searching for information to solving problems.
To really get your head around the scale of this, you have to understand that experts call AI a general purpose technology, like the steam engine, or electricity, or the internet itself. These aren't things that just improve one little task. They fundamentally rewire society and every single industry. That is the level of change we are looking at right now. And it is happening so much faster than you think. Projections show a 25% drop in traditional search traffic by 2026. And the reason is pretty simple, right? Why would you want to click through 10 blue links when an AI can just give you the answer directly? So, how in the world does an AI tackle a really complex, multi-layered question like this one? Finding the best certified financial planner in Portland for a woman in tech with a feet-only structure? It's not just looking for keywords anymore. It's pulling together and making sense of information from totally different places. Maps, review sites, business directories, personal websites, all to create one single comprehensive answer. It's a completely different beast than the Google search we all grew up with. So, if you want to win in this new world, you first have to understand what's actually going on under the hood of this new AI answer engine. Let's peel back the curtain. For 20 plus years, search has been all about matching keywords. You type something in, the engine finds pages with those exact words. Simple. But now we've jumped to semantic understanding. The AI doesn't just see the words, it gets the meaning, the intent behind your question. And this is all powered by a process called retrieval augmented generation, or just RAG for short. Okay, so this diagram might look a little complicated, but it shows the new mechanics perfectly. Your question and all the information on the internet are basically turned into coordinates on a giant map of meaning. The AI finds the documents that are mathematically closest to your question. And here's the key takeaway. It's not about ranking anymore. It's about your content becoming the actual raw material for the AI's answer. So for any brand, the most important word you need to know is grounding. Grounding is the absolute bedrock of AI search. It means every single fact in an AI's answer has to be traceable, has to be verifiable, right back to a source document. If the AI can't prove where it got the information, it's basically just making things up. That's what we call a hallucination. But here's the catch. Grounding is really, really hard. These models get confused, they pull in old information, they misunderstand the context. In fact, some recent research showed that even the most advanced AI models make claims that aren't grounded in facts about half the time. And that, right there, is both the biggest problem for AI developers and your single biggest opportunity as a brand. Okay, so now that we get the mechanics and we understand this huge challenge of grounding, let's talk about the new playbook. How do you actually get your brand, your information, your products noticed by these new AI engines? The old game of just rewriting what everyone else is saying? It's over. That content is basically worthless now. The new game is all about providing what experts are calling frontier knowledge. That means unique data, original research, insights that the AI doesn't already have in its system. You have to be the primary source of truth. So the strategy really boils down to three main pillars. First, information gain. Be original, bring something new to the table. Second, freshness. The data shows that content updated recently gets a massive boost. And third, structure. You have to organize your content so it's incredibly clear and easy for a machine to read. This pillar page is a perfect example of what that structure looks like. You're breaking down information into these really clean, logical blocks. A clear question, a simple definition, a step-by-step guide, some data to back it up. When you do this, you make your content super easy for an AI to understand and, more importantly, to trust. And that dramatically increases the odds that you'll be used as a source for an answer. And hey, it's not just about the words on the page. It's about the data behind the scenes. Simple things, right? Locations, business hours, product specs. All of that needs to be structured in a way that leaves zero room for confusion. The less ambiguity you have, the more trustworthy your data becomes to the AI.
Now, you might want to sit down for this number because it is a complete game changer. Research shows that a staggering 85% of brand mentions in AI answers don't come from the brand's own website. They come from trusted third-party sources. Think news articles, industry reports, reviews. This means your reputation in the eyes of an AI is being built everywhere else, not just on your own site. So, this new reality where you have to create fresh, structured content that also lives on other people's sites means you can't just tweak your content strategy. No, you have to completely redesign how your marketing teams even work. Let's look at that new workflow. The speed and scale of this new world just make the old way of doing things impossible. You can't keep up with manual tasks. You have to start thinking like a systems builder, creating an automated content engine that can actually operate at scale. This new operating model completely flips the script. You start with data, figuring out what questions the AI engines are trying to answer. Then you engineer automated systems to pump out that content. Now, the crucial part is you keep a human in the loop for that final strategic review, not for the boring stuff. And finally, you have to build the analytics to prove that all this work is actually connecting back to business results. And look, this isn't just a theory. This is a real job description for a GEO AI agent strategist. It makes it so tangible. The role of a marketer is changing right before our eyes. You're no longer just a content creator. You're becoming an AI trainer, a workflow architect, basically managing a team of AI agents that are doing the work for you. So all of this, the new engine, the new rules, these new workflows, it's all leading us to the next and biggest frontier, a world where AI doesn't just find information, but it actually takes action for you. This is what we call agentic commerce. And I want you to think back to that Tylenol story from the very beginning. That person didn't go to a website, they didn't compare prices, their AI agent understood the problem, found the product, checked the inventory, and arranged the whole purchase. That, right there, is the future of shopping. And please don't think this is some far-off, distant future. A huge majority of consumers are already saying they're ready and expecting to shop this way within the next year. The adoption curve for this is going to be incredibly fast. And this is where it gets really mind-bending. We are moving very quickly towards a world of agent-to-agent communication. Your personal AI shopper is going to talk directly to a brand's AI salesperson, and they're going to negotiate a deal all in milliseconds with zero human interaction. So the final and most critical question for every single brand out there is no longer how do I get found in a search? It's how do I become the definitive, trusted choice for an AI? It's about being so clear, so authoritative, that an artificial intelligence, making a decision on behalf of a human, chooses you. The real question is your brand ready for that?